So welcome everybody to the last session of Take Command. And today we have been talking all about listings and how to get listings and how we've got all these different methods of going about getting listings. So we're going to finish up with a very inspirational story, I believe. But to lead this, I brought in Miss Leah McCann, who is the team leader of these two extraordinary agents. So aloha, Miss Leah.
Aloha, pass the point, mahalo. I'm here.
All right. So I thought you would be best to kind of introduce these people and kind of question them because you know them better than I do. And what I've heard so far is awesome. So I'm looking forward to hearing this session. So
all right. So if you all stay on till the very end, I'm going to tell a secret about Martin. Maybe. Martin's like sweating already. So yes, I have the privilege of being the team leader for Kim and Martin Hawley. I've gotten to know them really well over the last couple of months. As a matter of fact, they reached out before they were even officially licensed, knew what they wanted to do, they were pretty prepared to dig into this. So I think I'm going to just say, Martin, tell us, you two tell us a little bit about your background, what brought you to KW, and then we're going to dive into the listings.
Can you guys hear us okay, Leah?
Yes.
Okay. So a little bit about our background, just super quick, is we weren't realtors really before. I've had a real estate license for a while, but we weren't active at all. We were in ministry. That's my background. Kim was worship leader in our church, and we started several churches, and we found ourselves on Long Island after going to Atlanta and back and forth. And then we decided that we needed to do a little bit of church consulting. So we said we need something to support that world. So that's our big why, is we take broken churches and fix them and make them really great again. And we're pretty good at that. And so that's our big why. And we needed something to fund that because broken churches usually can't pay very much. So that's what we do with the money. So you want to add anything to that?
We travel to see our grandchild.
Yes.
And our kids. We have 2 boys in the Navy. So we always, I never wanted to be told I couldn't go see my kids because of money. Yeah. So we started thinking, about retirement and where we want to be in life and what we need to do to get there and continue our ministry. And real estate seemed like the natural thing to us to go into. So we jumped in.
Love it. Yeah. So here's one thing that I've gotten to know, and you guys will start to see this about Martin and Kim, is in order to be in that industry, and I think many industries, if you're a new agent listening, hear me, regardless of what you did in your past, real estate is nothing more than a relationship business. And if you can be in relationship with people, the rest of the stuff, as Martin and Kim will show you, they can learn. All of that stuff can be taught. So Martin, talk to me about what it was like to secure your first listing. What did you do?
Our first listing, we went door knocking. So we moved into our neighborhood. We bought a house sight unseen from somebody in our office. We bought her home, and we moved here, and we had some contacts because we used to live here a long time ago, and we started obviously calling through them. But within the first week, we were just knocking on doors. Hi, we're Martin and Kim with Keller Williams, and we moved to our neighbors. See our house right there? We had a big Navy flag out there, and that's where we live. And do you want to buy it? Do you want to sell your house? That's all we asked. We were like Steve said, we had no script. We didn't know what we were doing. We just went door to door, and within 3 days, we had our first listing. We knocked on Mrs. Chase's door, one complex over from us, and she wanted to sell her house. And so we went back into the CMA. I sprinted to the house and worked on the CMA and jogged back. And I don't jog very good. So we were so excited and sat down with her, and I put it in front of her, and she was happy and signed a 6% listing. I didn't know to do cheaper than that at the time.
I love it. So door knocking was a strategy that you practice. And I jumped forward a little bit. So I want to rewind a little bit, because you guys knew coming into a new area. Yes, you knew some people, you had some roots here, but it had been a very, very long time since you had actually lived here in Southwest Florida, and you were living in New York at the time. what was that like as far as the transition? And tell us about that big letter that you sent out.
You want to answer that?
Well, I had never been in real estate before. I knew some of the terms and things because he had been in it. So I took my test and took the course. I completed it in 3 weeks because I was gung-ho. I was going to get this done. Then I went in and did the shift. Was it not pivot shift? It's
Bold.
no, it wasn't bold. It was the step before bold. It really made an impact. I'm kidding. No. the continuing class.
Oh, Ignite. Ignite.
Cappers.
No, there.
Okay.
Ignite. Yes. Ignite. I did Ignite. So I had all of that done. So as far as all the legwork, I was ready to go when I got here. And we had sent out a letter to all of our contacts saying that we were transitioning out of ministry full time, and this was going to be the next thing we're going into. And you know, we are still there for you. We can help you in this capacity, and we ask for referrals because we're not going to be selling in New York. And that's how we got our referrals started. And before we ever even got to Florida, we had done 6 or maybe.
We've done 26 referrals since November now altogether. I told you the wrong number yesterday.
I know you said 18. It's okay. You're a pastor. You don't lie. 26.
Yeah.
So I love this. So you knew we're going to be moving to a new area. We've got to connect with people. Most importantly, you already had a moat, and that was your database. Those are the people that you had connected with over the many, many years, and you were purposeful. I actually still have a copy of that letter because you so graciously sent it to me to review. And it was very specific. It was, I can serve your real estate needs across the globe. Think of us. And that was before you even came to Southwest Florida, before you were even ready to rock and roll down here. You were already starting to plant seeds, and people were listing with your agent-to-agent referral connections. And guys, hear this, 26 referrals passed in 4.5 months. That's massive. That's the power of this community and the database, right? You sent it out. How many letters did you send? Do you remember?
I think we did like 850 or 848 or something.
Yep.
It was just everybody we knew. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody you knew. And so for the newer agents that are here, listen, this is going to everybody. This isn't just past clients because you're new. You don't have past clients. This isn't just sphere of influence. These are people that are in your phone, on your Facebook. You're compiling all of this together to build a database as fast as possible. So you guys were able to plant the seed to say, hey, we're here to serve you. We're going to serve you in the same capacity we did in ministry, just with helping you buy or sell across the country. So I love that. And then I remember the other thing you did, you wanted to get hyper-focused on listings, and you attended the 12 weeks of listings. You missed one and you said, where can I find that recording?
Yeah.
And so that's on the pivot shift ahead page. If anybody wants to go back, they're all recorded. But Martin was very specific throughout those months to go and listen. What are agents doing to take listings? Okay, so fast forward. What's happened from your initial door knocking to catapult you guys into taking the amount of listings that you've taken in such a short time?
So we've gotten listings from a variety of sources, but we have our database is central to that. We're always on the phone, and we make sure we get from 9 to 11. We're on the phone, and we don't fail at that. We move whatever we have to move to get that time in. And so we do, we have a well-organized 36, 33 touch. I guess it's probably more than that because we have more than 33, but so that goes out. We have a newsletter that goes out via email on the 1st of the month. On the 15th of the month, like clockwork, we have a postcard that goes out to everybody. And we include all of those out-of-state people saying, by the way, you may not be able, we partner with our vendors on that coupon. So we send a coupon out so we have added value. Hey, it's time to check your air conditioner before summer. And here's a coupon from somebody we love around here that works on our house, and they're going to give you a $50 off or whatever. And if you're out of state, sorry, you can't use him, but you need to check it. So we try to add value to them every month. And then, so that brings us some business. People remember, and we get more referrals from that probably than anything else so far. And then we did door knocking. We talked about that. Our other strategy, we tried and we failed. We wanted a failure. You mentioned we're not good at everything. And this is what we were told to do, is try expired listings and FSBOs. And we don't mind stopping by a FSBO house because we love in person. But those phone calls are just out of our comfort zone. we just were like, people were mad at us, and that's fine. But it was just like beating our head against the wall. And that's just not my personality. So we scrapped that. We don't do if we'll stop by a house and see them in person, but I just stopped doing the Vulcan 7 dialer thing. And then the farm area is another thing that we did. We through demographic research, we determined who is most likely to sell their home in the next, like, more often than other demographics. Like, you get really young people and they're not going to probably sell a home very anytime soon. You get really old people, they're going to die in that home. So we got our generation, which has kids moving out of their house and grandkids, and they want to go be somewhere else. So we found a heavy populated area. And Steve actually gave us some advice on that. And so we determined that area. We found 500 homes. We wanted to keep that really tight knit. And that became our 12 touch program. So we don't have a lot of emails with that and, the do not call list and all that, but we do send them that postcard every month.
And we sent the golden letter to them.
And we sent the golden letter to that. And we actually put our big Y in there, and we got a call on that first letter. We like fell out of our chair. We weren't expecting that. And we had now we have a database of people we're looking for houses for, and we matched a buyer with the seller, and we got both sides of that first letter.
And they're moving out of state, and we gave them a referral.
And so we got a referral.
So that was golden for us.
That was a golden letter, yeah. So that's going to be a good payday. That's happening Thursday. We're closing Thursday on that.
And that's
fantastic.
That's what's going to.
So,
and that's, yeah.
So I want to recap this. So obviously we started with door knocking in our community, right? We focused on building the database. We are intentional about lead generation every single day from 9 to 11. We started with a newsletter, building that touch. And I will go back to, again, there's another incredible class that Leslie and Andy Peters taught, and that's where you got your 36 touch from.
Yeah.
So not that I want to take any street cred away from you. We are a company of rip off and reproduce. They didn't have to come in and reinvent this. Everything you need. Oh, I love it. So you jumped ahead. Everything we have here has been done. We just need to be resourceful to go find who's done that. So you started the 36 touch, and that includes a couple of different things. Again, for newer agents, if the budget doesn't allow for postcards, that's okay. You can do something handwritten. You can drop it off. You can do whatever it is to fill that touch. And then you focused on a farm and building a farm, not with cows and goats, like a farm area, right? With people. Yeah. Is there a specific company? I saw somebody had asked in the chat if there was a specific company that you use to do your farm research. I know there's plenty if you want to throw that nugget out there.
So we did farm areas, and I've just had a relationship with Info USA, and I think they've become something else now, but you can still infousa.com. They may not be the best, I don't know, but I've used them before in church work. So that's who we bought that list from.
Awesome. And then you're using the strategies of the 12 touch to stay connected, the golden letter. Obviously, that's another strategy that, again, these are all working. So tell me a little bit about the MREA book that you held up. What does that mean to you?
We're just doing everything. This is literally, Leah said there's nothing new. We just keep stealing stuff from everybody else we learned from. But this is the basics. We read this. I don't know how many times I've read this, and I'm just doing what it says. And that's it.
I think having accountability too with this, because Martin's someone that wants it all now. And so this was the strategy in here of, the benchmarks to make before you bring someone on, before you do administration. Yep. And then Steve, our coach, was really great at reiterating that. Are you guys ready? Let's see where you're at. And so it kind of pulled him back and restrained him a little bit. And so, I mean, when you say everything's in there, it's true. And it warns you, don't get ahead of yourself. Don't think you had a great month. So, let's jump ahead and go to the next step. Make sure you're where you need to be before doing that.
Yeah, and you mentioned accountability several times, and I know we're going to bring Steve in here in a little bit to just kind of share a couple of those things. So fast forward, right? We've put these strategies into place. Where are the listings coming from now? Because you took 7 listings in 1 month.
So four of those listings came from referrals. One of those listings came from door knocking. One of them came from a golden letter. And the other 2 came from our database. The other 2 came from our database.
Came from church. And literally an hour and a half ago, we got a phone call from the property manager who we met knocking on doors the first week we were here. And we brought her flowers and we've just befriended her. And she just called to say, by the way, this lady's ready to list. I referred you. We just set an appointment for tomorrow.
Yes,
so
we have instant trust with her because she trusts the property manager. And so she just said, bring the papers. I want to sign. She already knows our rate and everything. Natalie told her. So,
isn't that nice? You're planting seeds for people,
yeah.
Right? Because people hire us for the standards we represent, not physically who we are. And you've proven yourself. And I know this is probably recorded and I don't want to get in trouble. We have a negative feeling around door knocking in communities or these kinds of things. Yet you're proving that if you're just in relationship and you provide value and your value is, hey, I'm new to the community. I love living here and I just want to be in fellowship with other people. And that has prompted others to say, we trust those guys. Now, Mike, I'm curious, how many times throughout your first couple of months have people said, oh, you're new?
Well, we've never told anybody how new we are. Nobody's really asked how long.
Nobody.
Yeah. So. And sometimes we do hear agents.
Somebody did ask actually how many sales we've done, but we used our market center.
That's
we
true.
Said, well, we have a great support system with Keller, and we did what Steve told us to do. We just do what people tell us to do.
That's the best thing. All right, Martin, you've got some screens that you wanted to share. Why don't you pop those up?
Some screens.
Did you want to share screen or no? You wanted to share screen.
You wanted to lay out what we're doing.
Oh, so yeah, I can show you our 33 touch. If you want to see that, I just have a little.
I think there's 114 people that would love to see that.
How do I share screens? Is that easy? Oh, I see the button here, right here. So we can do that too. So I laid it out on a spreadsheet and I just said, hey, we're going to have a newsletter this day and we're going to have, an email. So we really adjusted it down to an email and a postcard once a month. That's the basis. And then that's 24 touches. And then we have a birthday. So we go to whitepages.com. That works well for us. And we're able to just about get everybody's birthday. And then so they get an automated birthday email. They get either a week or 10 days ahead. The system alerts us and tells us to send a birthday card. And we got cool birthday cards to do with. And here's something really, really cool. We have happy birthday stamps. I didn't even know these existed, but we have happy birthday stamps for our
Are they scratch and sniff?
I don't know if they're scratch.
You try, Leah.
Send me a birthday card.
And then we have 4 events we've planned, and we're doing our first one. It's a dog park event where we're going to the doggy park, and we have with the farm area that we bought, we know if they're a pet owner. I don't know how they do that, but we know that. And so we can specifically invite all those people. And so we'll be calling all the people and inviting them to that event and then, having drinks and stuff there and snacks and dog treats. We're going to do, what's our next event after that?
Easter egg hunt.
Isn't that on our thing?
Yes, I didn't update this yet. Oh. So anyway, we have an event, 4 events through the year. And then, this is what vendor we're going to be using. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yeah. We see all your vendors. I see them. Your allied resources.
Yeah, so we just do that.
Oh, the ice cream party.
Yeah, the ice cream party. So we're going to try to do a project for National Flag Day on the 4th of July. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but
we've got great resources for that. So if you, I mean, that's also in the pivot community. We've got a couple of agents that did thousands of flags on the 4th of July. It was powerful, especially in your farm.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what we were gonna.
So then the other part of our 33 touches, we kind of modified the calling strategy. Let's see if I can put this up here.
And Martin, before we get off of this, we've got people asking if you'd be willing to share your spreadsheets.
Sure. I'll send it to Leah and she can do what you want to do with it. Okay. So can you write that down so I don't forget? And then, so this is our 33 touches part of it. So in addition to the email and the postcard, we call all of our database every 3 months. We do a social media touch with them on the other. So every month they get touched with something. So a phone call, a social media, and a note or text message. And we go through all of our database every month, and we just do a third of it. So like
to break it into.
Yeah, so A and W gets a call here, and then A and W get the first week of January. Then A and W got a social media touch this week in February, and then A and W got a note, a handwritten note or text, the first week of March. A, W, and Y. So then they start over with a call in April. So we kind of modified that. So we're touching everybody every month. I don't know if we can sustain that forever, but that's what we're doing right now. Just a little bit different.
No, this is incredible. I think at the end of the day, it's ensuring that you are what MREA says, right? That you are touching somebody. What I love too is the 12 personal contacts a year. So the one we typically miss is the phone call. And I know without a doubt, that is the one thing that you guys make a priority. I've watched you, I've heard you, I know the accountability. Kim, you've said that, like, oh, I got to make the calls. Martin's looking at you. Because that's what's going to separate you. We can spam and recipe and doggy treats and all kinds of stuff. Our database, it's the personal phone call that's going to set Martin and Kim or whatever agent is out there apart from the rest of them. So this is basically the DTD2 system. Everybody gets a phone call from you once a quarter. So I love that. Do we have any questions? Or do we have, actually, you know what? Can we bring Steve in?
Absolutely. I've been waiting to do that.
Sorry, me too.
Howdy ho. Hey guys, how you doing?
Here he is. All right, so I have everybody, this is my amazing partner, Steve. He is our productivity coach. And the cool part about it is Steve just started a little bit before Martin and Kim, and they are knocking it out of the park with our productivity coaching program. So Steve comes, I mean, he's got an incredible past with Keller Williams up in Puyallup, and then moved to beautiful Cape Coral, Florida to chase the sunshine and the palm trees, worked in new construction with Holiday Builders, is John Maxwell certified, all kinds of great stuff. And I love Steve. He's very amazing. And so hey, Steve, yeah.
One thing I keep on hearing over and over and over, Steve told me to.
He told me to. Yes.
Steve told me to.
Steve's gonna ask that. It's probably because Steve and I tell each other too often. So Steve, share a little bit about what that experience has been like in coaching Kim and Martin. For you.
Awesome. And the reason it's awesome is, in coaching, as you're going through things and you end up a coaching session and you're doing the action steps. On the outside, you're cheering for it all to get done, but on the inside, you're hoping 20% of it gets done. And they always do it. They always do the activity. In fact, if everybody's noticed a common theme so far in this call, it's consistency. It's if you looked at the chart, they have their public events time blocked out until probably the next millennium. And that's the hardest thing to teach the new people is get this stuff time blocked, get it on your calendar. And it is. So I guess that would be my first comment is incredibly coachable. They naturally tend to stay in their 20%. In fact, the only time I've seen either one of them upset about anything was when something was getting in the way of Kim's door knocking. She did not like it. Again, it shows you where the mindset is.
Yeah. And again, going back to Martin and Kim, what you guys said, somebody gave you the system instead of saying, ooh, that's not like me, or I want to do it my own super shiny way. You said, what does the textbook say? How do I absolutely execute that? And then let me find who is doing it at the highest level. So I'm sure your phones and emails are going to blow up for all these people on the call that are like, how do I master the 33 touch? How do I master the time blocking? Because that is something you guys do very well. And for those of you that are new, if you don't have a coach, go get a coach. Go get somebody that can help you be accountable. Anything you guys want to add to that, Martin and Kim?
It was awesome. We had so many questions, and we just felt like we were interrupting other people. And so we were hesitant to call, but that's what Steve is there for. And we just felt really comfortable. We met him a couple of times and we're like, we can ask this guy anything, any time of the day and night. And so maybe not any time of the night, but pretty close. I've called him at like 9 o'clock before. So it's been a great relationship, and he's always been available and super helpful. Yeah. So we'll tell a story about door knocking.
Yes. Yeah, people want to hear the real. They want to hear real, raw, and unplugged.
So
Thank God I didn't answer
hand
this.
me that
I
box.
was out of this door.
So we have these little things we take and we pass out, and it's got the listing we sold and what we, and a little thing to hang it on in case somebody's not there. And we're going door to door to door to door, and somebody answers the door with nothing on. And we were like, hi, I'm Martin with Keller Williams. So I don't know, anything's possible, but
You had like 3 in a row of very
the weird people. I'm like, this is the weird street.
I was at the other end of the street. I was like, oh, thank you.
So God took the preacher to the nudist colony. We're good.
Oh, anything goes in real estate, and yet you just roll with it, right? Like, if somebody can, you just look up. If somebody can answer the door naked, you can door knock. I love that. So I do want to. I'm gonna pop off, and Steve, you guys can stay and chat for a little bit. But I just wanted to recap a couple of things. So I'm hearing. Obviously, we sent out an entire intro letter to our database. And if you're brand new or you have been in this business 10, 15 years and you've never connected with your database, now is a great time to send that out. The market is changing. There's stuff happening in our world. People want to hear from you. So you can make a reintroduction of yourself. So get that letter out and start intentionally building your database. Make sure you have a solid 36 touch. We're going to share with you what Martin's doing. And then there's a million others out there. Don't overthink it, right? Personalize it to you. What are you passionate about? If you like dogs, these two crazy people they just bought a puppy because door knocking in nude communities wasn't enough. So they bought a dog. Now they can door knock with the dog. No. So find what you're passionate about, understand who your audience is, and then go create additional events that you can love on them with. Choose a farm, make sure there is, turnover there. And then use the golden letter that's on the pivot shift page if anybody's looking for that. If you're calling FSBOs and expireds, all the more power to you. That's another lever. And remember, not everything works for everybody, and it's totally okay. Find what works for you because it's going to be the best thing for you is what you're actually going to do. And then obviously hire a coach. So I'm going to leave you guys. Martin and Kim, I'm super proud of you. Steve, so thankful to have you as part of our leadership team. And Ryan, thank you for honoring them. And all of you amazing people, we love you. Go crush it. Go take some listings and then report back next month how well they worked.
Thank you, Leah.
We'll see you guys.
Thanks.
So there's one more tool I can share, Ryan, if you want that. I was having a really hard time getting through all the phone calls because we make a ton of phone calls, and so we've got this this dialer program that is not a dialer because I guess that's illegal now, but it dials the phone for you, and then it will dial assist, but you just load the database into it, and then you can call what you want to call.
You record your message, and
it'll drop the voicemails. That was the most time-consuming part, is waiting for this stupid message to get to beep, and so it does that functionality for you. So that actually boosted me from like 50 or 60 calls a day to
23 calls one day, and then the next week it was 106 that day. So it really
made a big difference.
Yeah.
I will not stop you from dropping the name of it. However, I know that there's been a lot of lawsuits around that technology, so we're careful about that.
Yeah, so I don't know about all of that. I think we're in compliance. I talked to Leah about it. I don't know if I mentioned that to Steve or not, but it's phoneburner.com is who we use. I guess there's a bunch of them, but that's who we use. We don't use the predictive part of it to keep in compliance. So we're actually listening for a ring. There's never dead air with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Steve, how did you do this?
Well, I mean, I'm really lucky. If you come down to this market center, and most of you know Leah.
I'll buy there tomorrow.
Oh, awesome. If you come in and hang out and you talk to our team leader, and you talk to Maddie, and you talk to our techie Mallory, and you talk to Matt, if you look at the people around me, it's less a question of how I do it, and it's more a question of how could you not. You get surrounded by a bunch of class people, and you can't help but to have things go well. Now you throw in people that are coachable and know how to focus, and you get what you have right here on this call. As far as coaching specifics, my theory is this: teach basics. Just teach really, really basic. As people grow, they'll bring in the complexity themselves. You don't have to. Everything we do in this program, it's just basic. A script to get them out in the field. A this to get them out in the field. Not so much worrying about going way deep in 15 scripts and 15 presentations. Just, like with the FSBOs they talk about. A very basic FSBO script, 47 things to help your house sell faster. Go knock on the door, hand them it, check back later. Just basics.
What I've learned is the people who tend to not try to be too creative with things, but just listen to what they're told to do and just do it, they tend to be more successful because they don't get in their own way. Would you agree?
Oh, I do.
That was the question. That was going to you. You're the coach. So I was hoping to get that from you. What would you think, Martin and Kim? Do you think that's helped you get out of your own way by just doing what you're told?
I think so, because we weren't looking to reinvent a wheel. We were looking to, start making money and start getting onto our big why. So we didn't want to spend a lot of time trying things. We wanted to do what works.
I was going to grab I usually have my MREA book right here. I was going to grab it, but I packed it. There you go. Thank you. Hold up for me. I'm headed to Marco Island tomorrow. So that book right there, that's pretty much the Bible for real estate. Just do what it says. Follow it, right? I mean, it's not rocket science completely. It's just follow the models and systems in place.
Martin, when you get really cool, we'll get you one with the binder back here.
That's the one I got. That's a good one.
There's the time to go to the bookstore to do it.
Mine's covered in sticky notes too, because every time I see something, I get an idea, I'm popping a sticky note in there. Yeah. Read it like that. I know I've talked to the market center tech trainers like Mallory. She's the market center tech trainer where you guys are at, and she's pretty amazing. And what we had challenged to do is go through and read it with the technology in mind. What about this can deal with the technology. Are you guys utilizing Command at all?
We like Command. We actually integrated with Follow Up Boss earlier, and so we went that route. But we do use Command for several things. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Follow Up Boss and Command are almost identical, just in different little bit looks. We pretty much copied Follow Up Boss when we built Command, but you can do a lot of the same stuff. So a lot of the things that you have in that you're showing on your spreadsheet, that's where my mind was going with that, is how can I take, which you can take that stuff that's on your spreadsheet and you can put it right into Command and use smart plans to automate a lot of that stuff.
Sure.
Good job. Anything else you guys want to add? We're getting close to the end of this call. I want to make sure you guys get everything in that you wanted to show us.
Nope, we're good.
Good. Steve, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I want to make a comment on mindset and a huge difference we see right now. Everybody's scampering, about the shift and where are we heading? Is it a recession? Is it not a recession? Is it this? Oh my gosh, can't find an open house. Yet there's a group like the Hawleys that are too busy out getting listings and writing contracts to be concerned. It's almost as if they didn't get the memo that they're supposed to be bothered. And I think they have done it, and everybody needs a major dose of, in addition to everything else shifting, our mindsets need to shift. 3 hours of prospecting isn't going to do it anymore. And I think everybody over the time coming needs to shift from a activity mindset, meaning, oh, I prospected 3 hours today or 2 hours today, and go to a production mindset of, no, I prospected till I got my listing appointment, end of story. I see this in them constantly, where they just go and go and go and go and go until they get the results they want.
Anybody else have any questions? I'm going to open this up to everybody else to ask any question they want. Throw it at Kim Hawley. These are some agents that just came in and back in November, and now they've just done what they're supposed to, and they've got listings sitting right there. They're in action.
I will say one thing, that it's difficult for me, and I like being in front of people, but every single time I go door knocking, I still get a sick feeling in my stomach every single time. So if you're waiting for that to go away, I'm starting to begin to think it's not, but just do it anyway. And what helps me on the days he doesn't go with me, it really mentally messes with me. So we had another young agent in the office that was like, I want to know how to door knock. And I said, oh, you want to go with me? And just having him in the same neighborhood did something in my head to make it okay. Just knowing there was another agent a street over made all the difference. So find someone else that's new, get a partner, and go and have lunch after and talk about what happened and take a friend.
Meet some naked people.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
Ryan doesn't know what to say now.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on our March Take Command. We had 2 of them this month. One of them we're going to include as part of February. I am Ryan Yarbrough. I am your Regional Technology Director, and I'm